Sorry, Holiness Rinpoche. So I'm so blessed to see you in Norway. I'm here for last 37 years, but very seldom I meet enlightened Lama like you come to this country. I would like to ask, from a Buddhist perspective, for a general ordinary population, what contributes to their well-being? They are not looking for the ultimate liberation per se. Of course, in the background that is also there. But from a well-being perspective, in which way we can attract the attention of the present student in the universities? In which way Buddhism and Buddhist teaching can contribute to this overall well-being of the population?
I think, the first thing is, although ultimate goal is, perfect enlightenment and, like Buddhahood and things like that. So therefore, we talk a lot about that, and we find that in every, teachings. But generally, we talk about different yanas, and the first yana is what we call as human yana. I think that aspect is very important for this, for the general public and for, for people to start with, And there, the most important question asked is, what do you think is the most important thing? And what is the most important thing you think for yourself? What is the most important? So, I want to be free from my problems and pain and suffering. I want to be happy and joyful, and I want people to love me, to be kind to me, to be friendly to me. And I also want that, if this is like, if people are kind to me, I will feel very happy. If people are friendly to me, I'll be very happy. If people, respect me, I'll be very happy. And this is not just my feeling, but it's the feeling of everybody.
Sure.
So if I see this very clearly, then, if I think that that's what everybody needs, then I should try to do something about that, no? I should try to also feel kind, also feel friendly, also feel respectful to others. And if I act on that philosophy or on that outlook, I've become a good human being, And if everybody understands this, then actually it's not so easy, not so difficult to transform the whole world, like we have so much wars and conflicts and atrocities and all kind of negative things. But actually, if we acted kindly to each other, really deeply, and the peace is already there, If we start with that, that's how to, transform myself, that's how to transform our society, that's how to transform our world. And then on top of that, then we learn how to make things better, how to solve our problems. We cannot solve our problems by just, too much anger, too much hatred, too much jealousy, too much greed. And so we need to, work on those things inside us and then try to bring the best for everybody, so we learn to live together. So for that, there are lots of methods, for lots of trainings in Zen Buddhism, like even mindfulness is one of them, but there are many different things. And then you can go also, how we see the world, what is the nature of the thing. And there, Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist understanding is a little bit catching up with the science, and so therefore, there are lots of scope for going very deep, we can have ethics without religion. We can, we don't need to have dogmatics. We don't need to have beliefs, but we can still transform ourselves, and also from this point of view, like, Buddha said all the time that, I don't teach only one way, because people need different ways. People need different approaches, different philosophies, different practices and things like that. So therefore, I teach as according to what people need to transform themselves.
Therefore, there are 84,000 Dharma
Therefore,
doors.
84,000 dharmas. So therefore, based on that view, you cannot really exclude anybody. So therefore, it was always that he respected others, other teachers, other founders, other, prophets and things like that. And this is also, I think, one of the most, what can you say, realistic way to bring together, we do lots of what you call this, kind of unity, to bring unity, different conferences and things like that.
Accurately in Buddhism, His Holiness,
Yeah.
I have heard about Medicine Buddha.
His Holiness Dalai Lama does it, and everybody does it. We have lots of conferences, but many times it becomes like, Christianity says, oh, we are all like Christianity, so we have to, it's okay to be together. Or the Muslims say the same way, everybody say the same thing. But that doesn't really solve the problem, because there are differences. But from Buddhist point of view, they say that actually the differences are good. The differences are very useful, because one way is not enough for all the people. So therefore, if there is another slightly different way, different approach, different thing, that's something very useful, for some people at least. So therefore, we need to respect that, and we need to, preserve that. We don't need to destroy that. We need to preserve that. And so therefore, all different kind of things, whatever little differences, we have to highlight that and make it special. And then we learn from there.
It's a bright side of all wisdom tradition.
Yeah.
Should also come to the university.
Yeah. So
His Holiness, could you just, I have heard about Medicine Buddha, which is directly related to the well-being of people.
Yes.
Could you say some words about what is Medicine Buddha?
Well, this is like same thing in Buddhism, we have lots of different Buddhas and different Bodhisattvas. And of course, every one of them's kind of a general wish and general kind of activity is same, to bring best for everybody. But then they also have, different, slightly different individual commitments or dedications, So like there's Medicine Buddha, when he was first, like a Bodhisattva, he said that, yes, I would like to bring the lasting peace and happiness to everybody and all those kind of things. But especially, I want to heal. I want to heal every disease, and I want to kind of bring all the, remedies to all the diseases and things like that. And every positive thing I do, I dedicate it so that they, they bring this kind of special powers and qualities in me, so that when people even think about me, say my name, say my mantra, will have that effect. So he became Medicine Buddha. And same with, different, like Manjushri is for wisdom and intelligence. and then
Green Tara is
follow
for the compassion.
Tara for like different, same thing, but slightly different things, not like that.
Great. His Holiness, finally, I would like to ask you one thing, because today's many that you have seen, so many there in the hall, myself included, and our student also. One of the problem now is, as you get more affluent in terms of physical terms, you have a problem of rejection sensitivity. Your small worldview, conception, cosmovision, if anybody talks against it or which is not in line with that, they feel they have a sensitivity, rejection sensitivity. Also in individual life, if somebody is not listening to you in a project kind of, then they feel bad. How to deal with rejection sensitivity in the present time?
These are things which I think is very important, for how to deal with our emotions, So because actually this is something that is not dealt with in modern education. There is nothing to deal with our emotions and things like that. It's all the education is about intelligence, knowing more and achieving competition and things like that. But this is very important because we all have emotions, and if we can't deal with our emotions, then we get lots of all kind of lots of mental illnesses. So many people have problems with depression, with loneliness, with all kind of things. And this is like in modern world, actually this is the worst problem. So there, I think one needs to understand that what others do and say is one thing, but how I react to that is another thing, And I have the choice, and I have the capacity, whether what people say or do hurts me or not hurts me, So if I make it such that nobody can say anything against me, then of course I can stop everybody's mouth. So I can't make sure that everybody says only good things about me, but they can say not so good things about me. But I don't need to be hurt by all of them. I can even learn from that. If somebody criticizes you, is it really true or not true? If there is some truth or a little bit of, so then I can learn from that, and I can actually be grateful to that person, because it's a education, it's a wisdom. If that's not true, then they're just saying it because they don't know me, or they don't like me, or whatever. So that I cannot just I cannot stop everybody's talking, but I don't have to take it too seriously. I don't have to feel that bad. So this kind of the way you see things and the way you work with your emotions, I think that's very, very important. And this part is like loneliness. Everybody is very competitive, only competitive. And when we are only competitive, then you cannot have friends. Because even in a workplace, everybody is like always like have the attitude of competing, and so it's not like working together, but kind of pulling down the legs. I remember one time this one of the film actors in India, what's his name? One of the Khans.
I see. The older Khan or new Khan?
Three Khans.
Salman Khan.
Salman Khan.
Amir Khan.
Okay.
Amir Khan went to the school, small school.
Okay.
And then he gave a talk. I was really impressed by that talk. He was saying that, we parents have to be very, very responsible and careful how we train and, our children, because nowadays what we do is that when the small children come back from school, we always ask them, how did you do? How much of a mark did you get? Are you the first or second, or things like that? We always ask these kind of questions. And when we keep on asking these questions, the child will think that, oh, I have to be better. I have to be competent. I have to become the first. And so if you take that, kind of encourage that, and then all life, school to life, you have to become that. And then when they finish the school and university and come out, then there is all these young, people who are only thinking is that I should be the best and I should be, they compete and become the. So if all people like that in the generation, then the world will be, very selfish and self-centered and only competitive and, things like that. So it's not a very good society. If we, he said, instead of doing that, when our small children came home, and we said, today what did you do? Did you make a friend? Did you help somebody? Or something like that. Then this child will grow with like me, I should help and I should become friends and I should do these things, that things to help each other. And if all the children grow up like this and they all come out from the universities with that attitude, you have the generation where everybody tries to help each other and wants to do something good for the people, then we have a wonderful future.
That's very true, His
I think
Holiness.
it was so nice. I was really.
But out of these 4 immeasurable, the 4th one, the upekkha, or to be indifferent, under which context and what kind of circumstances, with what kind of person, we should practice that one?
So it's not indifference.
Or
it's
upekkha.
equanimity.
Equanimity, yeah.
Great equanimity, and that is actually without fear and attachment. That's the whole point. And that is like, if we know, the true nature of everything and true nature of ourselves, then we don't have to be, attached or to have fear of things. And when we don't have to be, afraid of things and too much attached to things, then we can be very wise and also compassionate and, very equally, So that's Buddhahood, for instance. So that's, the kind of the ultimate goal, But of course, we should also try to work on that also, because
The equanimity in all situations.
because like, we always have this thing, I want this, so I have to go after it. I don't want this, then I run after that, away from that, and we're always busy doing only this thing, trying to get something, trying to get rid of something and things like that. So of course we also care for others a little bit, but eventually it's very selfish, So, but that is not going to really solve our, ultimate issue, because we can be very, unstable and, life after life we are like that. So we are very like petty. So therefore, if we really want to go beyond that, if we want to develop ourselves, we have to develop wisdom and compassion. And if we have to develop wisdom and compassion in a deep way, then we have to understand, how to be compassionate, how to treat everybody in a kind way, including, of course, yourself, and not afraid of things also. And because not just because that we kind of try to be kind-hearted, but because we understand that, to be just always fearful of something not nice, and to be too much attached to something is not, is only bringing harm and bringing suffering to yourself and others. So therefore, if I can really understand that and can feel, experience that, then I would go beyond that. That's the whole thing.
Thank you, His Holiness, for your precious time here in
Don't
Oslo.
talk about only soul, that's too high.
Great. For us, I think you are the source of wisdom, because coming to this world, going away from a country like Nepal for many, many years, is easily get stained by other kind of civilization, other kind of worldview, other kind of conditioning. But as long as when you come here, and that gives us a reminder, this is the Dharma, this is the Esadammo Sanantano.
I'm very happy that I could meet you, and you've been working here in a very nice way, and teaching. So that's wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.